Then taking a quick look at the Australian dollar versus the Japanese yen, that is our dominant currency sentiment theme for today's European trading session. The reason for the Aussie yen being our dominant theme is the overall risk off tone that we're seeing in the markets. We've seen a transmission effect throughout the asset classes with equities down across the board. We're also seeing bond yields coming down across the board, also seeing downside in terms of classic commodities that we would expect to have downside in terms of risk off. And then looking at the currency space, we can see also classic risk off with the three high beta commodity linked currencies being pressured across the board, and our safe havens, Japanese yen, Swiss franc, and dollar up across the board. Currently, Aussie leading the pack to the downside, while the yen is leading the pack to the upside. For that reason, we do maintain a downside bias on the Aussie yen for today's session. Now, looking at the technicals, we've already seen the pair from top to bottom run the entire volatility or expected volatility range for the pair for today, coming in right on top of that ADR low right now. Even though the sentiment driving markets down right now is strong in terms of risk off flows, we are at a psychological level, the 68. We have come down to this overall support and resistance area. We have reached the ADR low. So for those reasons, we won't really be interested in selling this right at the session low today, but we could wait for a possible pullback. The next high probability opportunity looks like this overall zone between the 68.40 as well as that 68.60, call it the 68.50 psychological level. And that looks like a good spot to wait for a possible retrace to re-engage the pair to the downside, targeting then this overall support area between that 67.60 and 68 psychological level as a good spot to reduce some risk and bank some pips. Biggest risk factors to this bias. Firstly, if we see a drastic turnaround in the risk tone, going to a full positive risk tone, that'll immediately invalidate this downside bias for the Aussie yen. Also looking to the calendar, we do have the upcoming event, which is the retail sales for the US. Now, that can have a big impact on the equity markets today. If we see a much better than expected print in terms of retail sales, that'll be a more positive reading for equities, which can see some upside and which can also cause a risk on tone to develop. So definitely a risk factor that we need to consider. For more information on what we're looking for that retail sales event, make sure to go to the daily risk event outlook report in the must read section and just have a quick read of that retail sales report for the US. So that is what we're looking for the Aussie yen. If we do have any other updates or a change in the bias as usual, we'll make sure to let you know.